Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look that you see right here. I just wanted to do something that was kind of like really neutral and glowy and super feminine and flirty. And yeah, I just love this look. I use a lot of bronze shades on my eyes. I love warm tones. I didn't want to do anything super crazy or complicated, so I kept it pretty simple, but it's still very glamorous at the same time. And yeah, I really love this makeup look. I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. And let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. If you really love it, then please give my video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to be using some different primers. My skin has been acting up a lot lately. So I'm going to start off with the Emite Makeup Diamond Heart Base Primer, and this is the Illuminating Primer. So I just take a little bit of it like that. I warm it up between my fingers, and then this one I'm going to be doing on the forehead and my chin. And then just kind of all on the outer areas of my face because that's where I get really dry. Then for pore filling primer, I'm going to be taking the Josie Maran Etheric Primer, and this is kind of, I don't know like the actual name of it. Oh, here it is, the Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. And it really is kind of like a balmy consistency, so I'm going to be placing this in my T-zone area, and it's really going to help to smooth out my pores. This one reminds me a lot of the NYX Angel Veil Primer, but it's not going to break me out. Sometimes I can break out from the NYX primer, which kind of sucks because I love that primer, but this one does the same thing. Obviously it's more expensive, it's Josie Maran, but it does not break me out, and I hate whenever I break out from products. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. I'm in the shade Natural, and I pretty much just like to draw lines on my face like this. And I really like this foundation because you can not really overdo it, so I tend to be heavy-handed whenever I use this foundation, but it doesn't look like cake face. So I just pretty much draw and cover up all of the areas that are really problematic for me. Then, because I definitely want more of like a dewy finish before I buff everything out, I'm going to take the Cover FX Enhancing Drops. These are the like illuminating ones, and I have the shade Sunlight. So I take just a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to be dipping my brush into it before I buff out my foundation. So I just have like a little drop like that on the back of my hand. And then I'm using the Morphe M439 brush. So I'm just taking like a little tiny dab like that. And then I'm going to begin to buff out that foundation. And this one I'm taking pretty far down onto my neck because it's a little bit dark for me because I am super pale right now. But that's okay as long as we cover up the neck. So it matches like my arms and stuff, but my neck for some reason never keeps a tan. So I always have to take my darker foundations down lower. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that illuminating custom drop and add it into the mix. I really love this brush for this foundation. I just think it buffs it out flawlessly. It's so beautiful. And I've been really loving this foundation recently. It gives such a natural finish. It's not too dewy to where like it makes your skin look almost oily. It gives a very natural finish, and it's not matte either. Okay, so now for my concealer, I'm going to be taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm going to use this for, oh my gosh, my dog literally cannot stop barking at my husband. It's like he knows that that's daddy, but he has like a really big scary thing, that he's pushing around right now, so he's been freaking out. So if you guys can hear him in the background, I apologize. But I'm just going to be taking this for my under eye concealer. I love this concealer. It is still my favorite. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm also going to be using it for my primer as well. And I've been having a lot of redness, like hormonal redness around my nose, so I'm going to take it kind of pretty far down to cover up some of that redness. Now I'm just going to buff it out with a little damp beauty sponge. This is one that my mother-in-law got for me for Christmas, and it's really, really cute. I love it because it's like smaller than my other one, and the tapered side really gets in there underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to set everything with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit with the banana shade. Nothing new there. I really want to find like another good cruelty-free powder to kind of set stuff with, because I feel like this is the only powder that I've been using. And I also use it to set my eyelids as well. It helps make the shadow go on a lot better. Then I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows just so I have those done. This is like my least favorite thing to do ever, but I'm just using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I think I'm in the shade like ash brown or something. Yeah, ash brown. So I just kind of like take it and fill in just a little bit. I don't like to make them super dramatic. I don't really do any outlining. I just kind of stay in the center and fill them in that way. So they kind of have a little bit more darkness to them, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eyes. The first shade I am using is by Colourpop, and this one is in the shade Glow. It's just a really natural or neutral kind of pale sand color. It's really, really pretty. I love using this as like a good base to kind of start my other eyeshadows with. So I'm taking that on a Morphe E23 brush. It's just a really, really big, fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to buff that out. Kind of creates just like a really nice pale neutral shade. Next up, I'm going to be taking the color Strength. This one was from, I think, like Danny Coffee or Coffee Danny or something like that. It is a really, really beautiful, like light tone warm shade that is brown, obviously, and it has a little bit of like a sheerness to it, so it looks really, really pretty on the eyes. It's not too dramatic, which I like. And I am taking a much more dense blending brush. This one is this is a Morphe blending brush that I got in a set. They no longer carry the set anymore, but they have a ton of blending brushes like this. So I'm just taking that shade and I am applying that directly into my crease. And I'm gonna kind of take it more towards the inner corner as well. And then when there's less product on my brush, I'm going to be blending a little bit upwards towards the tail of my brow. So the next shadow I'm going to be taking is called Bravery. It's a really pretty matte chocolate brown. It's gorgeous. I love the shade and it goes on so smoothly. So I'm going to be taking another Morphe blending brush. This one is more, it's kind of like flat, but it's still a blending brush, if that makes sense. It's not like something that you would necessarily use to apply like shadow all over your lid. So I'm just going to take this on the outer corner of my eye, kind of just place it right there. And then when I have less product, I'm going to kind of bring it into the crease, but this shade I'm not going to bring in very far. I'm just trying to keep it on that outer corner mostly. I love this color. It's so pretty. It's like the perfect chocolate brown shade. And I love that there's like literally no fallout with these shadows. That's one of the things that I'm really curious to see, because I know pressed shadows can sometimes really create a lot of fallout, especially with the like richer colors. So I'm really curious to see what their shadows are going to be like. Okay, now for more of the inner part of the eye, I'm taking this gorgeous gold bronzy shade. This one is in the shade Blaze. Pretty sure this came from the Kathleen Lights collection, and it's just so gorgeous. Like, I'll show you guys a little swatch. Look how pretty that color is. It's so freaking beautiful. So my favorite way to apply these shimmer shadows from Colourpop is to use like a synthetic flat top brush like this. Not flat top, but like a flat brush like this. And I will kind of like dig the product that way, and it really picks up a lot of the product. And I like to really just kind of pat this on, and then I will kind of start to swipe. Ooh, this shade is giving me a lot of fallout right now. And I just was talking about how they don't do fallout. I'm just patting. And then I'm going to kind of carve out, because I don't want this to be all over the lid. I just want it in the inner part and then the middle. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of Strength and apply that just to kind of buff this out and make sure that there's like no harsh lines. For my lower lash line, I'm going to be taking the Tarte Sex Kitten like waterline eyeliner, and this one is in the shade Black. They have a couple different ones, but I'm just going to line my waterline. Then I'm going to be taking a little bit of Bravery, that dark brown shade, and I'm going to apply that into the lower lash line. I can never do this stuff without like holding my mouth wide open. It's so obnoxious. Now I'm going to give my top and bottom lashes a coat of mascara using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I am obsessed with this stuff. It is definitely one of my top favorite mascaras of all time. It just makes your lashes so black, and it gives them volume, texture, length. It really just does everything that you need a mascara to do. For my false lashes, I'm going to be taking House of Lashes lashes in the style Smoky Muse. They're so freaking gorgeous and wispy and just freaking amazing. They're really, really good if you have like kind of pronounced eyes. So for me, my eyes are not almond shaped at all, and they're not necessarily like downturned eyes either, but they're pronounced. So like a lot of times whenever I use an eyelash style that kind of is like shorter in the middle and then longer out here, it just looks a little bit weird on my eyeballs. So I really love these because they're longest in the center, and it really accentuates round eyes. For my contour, I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder contour set, and I'm going to be taking this middle shade right here. This is the lighter contour set, and then I'm going to be taking my Morphe M178 brush. It is really, really nice for powder contour. I love it. And then I'm just going to be doing this in the hollows of my cheeks. For my blush, I am taking the NARS Blush in the shade Goulue, I think that's what it's called. And I'm using my Morphe E4 blush brush. I love this brush. It is so, so soft, and it just gives such a beautiful finish. For my highlight shade, I am taking the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. And this one is, it doesn't have a shade. So I guess this is the only one that she has. I've never used this before. My mom purchased this and she ended up just giving it to me. So we shall see what it looks like if I can find my highlighting brush. So I don't really know what it's doing. Huh. Oh, okay, there we go. It's like a really kind of subtle glow from within. It reminds me a lot of the ambient lighting powders from Hourglass. So it's not necessarily something that is going to be like, holy crap, look at her highlight. It's more of like a beaming from within, if that makes sense. It's really pretty though. It's super subtle and pretty. See what it looks like on the nose. Yeah, see, it's like a really subtle but still very, very pretty highlight. Then for my lips, I'm taking a Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Date. I love Bite Beauty. I haven't been using it a whole bunch on my channel, but I do use it a lot. It's this really pretty kind of like dusty rose nude shade. Oh my God, so pretty. Bite Beauty literally has the creamiest lipsticks I have ever used in my entire life. They're just so creamy. They're so good. And I love the shade. It's so freaking gorgeous. Then to top everything off, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. And I'm going to douse myself in this. Ah, smells so refreshing and it feels really, really good. All right, and that is the finished look. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.